Here we go. Right, let's get some buttons set up here and make sure that I'm doing the right thing. It's a very interesting thing to do these days. Click a button there, click a button there, click a button there. Okay, forgot to put a title in one. I'll do this and I'll change it later. There we are. This is to go into How to Be Brilliant now. God, just when I think I've got everything sorted out, I nearly have. I'm close, but no cigar. Anyway, with a better luck, I should be able to click this, and now everybody will see it at the same time. Here we go. You know what it is. I got a message from somebody a couple of weeks ago about my Magic Monday lives, and they said it's so reassuring when things go wrong for you, Michael. Well, thanks for that. I think what they were saying was they do lives and things go wrong sometimes. So it's actually quite reassuring when things go wrong for me too. So this is another Ask edition. I'm going to do these all of September. I'm enjoying it, actually. Thank you very much for your questions. I've had a whole bunch of questions from people, and I'm stacking them now. So I've got some for this week, some for next week. If you want to do one for the week after, get it in as soon as you can. Just email hello@michaelheppel.com, ELL at the end of Heppel, hello@michaelheppel.com with your question, and I will be very, very happy to see if I can answer it during an Ask session. So let's get straight to it. The first one is from Des Reynolds. Now, Des Reynolds is an amazing, incredible, brilliant person, and he says here, what are some constructive things to do in a work environment where you have more things to do than you can do in the time available, and you face constant interruptions all day? Asking for a friend. Okay, so there's this for your friend is what I would do. Number one, I would do something called ruthless prioritization. So this is just thinking about the top tasks that are going to have the biggest impact, and I would start with those. Next thing is batch tasks. So kind of get stuff together and maybe only do it once a week. So on Thursday afternoon at 2 o'clock, you do all of these things. So often people think stuff's urgent. It isn't really. Next thing is 17-minute sprints. You know about 17-minute sprints. There's a member of Team 17, and it is a great way to get stuff done. But I know what he's coming to, and he's going to say, "But Michael, what about for my friend the interruptions when people are asking for stuff to happen? Well, Des, can you do that? Des's friend, sorry, can you do this? Can you do that?" And that is this wonderful thing about learning how to say no, or no, not now. And that is the hardest thing to do, but it is the best possible way to save time. So my method is if somebody asks me to do something and I'm unable to do it at that particular time, I'll say, thanks so much for asking. I'm unable to do it right now because I've got this to do. If there's any of these things you would rather I stopped doing to do that, let me know which one. Because people don't realize how much time you've got and don't realize how many other priorities you have. So sometimes you have to educate people and let them know about what else you have. And the question to ask is, what do you want me to stop doing so I can do that? Or every Thursday afternoon at 2 o'clock, I'm doing this. And then you can go into whatever it might be. That's a tough one. It's kind of all about, setting boundaries if you can. And one of the things I talk about in How to Save an Hour Every Day is having me, key, and stuff time. And it sounds to me like you've got loads of stuff time. It's just stuff. And to schedule out some key time, and whether that's just a half an hour once a day when you just do key stuff and people can't interrupt you, that would be great. Delegate. There's 3 ways to delegate. You can delegate up, you can delegate down, you can delegate across. So think about different ways to delegate. And then the final thing is, if necessary, just have a chat with your manager, have a chat with your boss, and just say, look, this is kind of getting a bit bonkers now. I'm getting loads of people interrupt me all the time to do stuff, and it's a bit of a challenge prioritizing everything. So I need your help. They're the magic words. I need your help. Can you help me to make sure either I'm not getting interrupted so much that I'm able to prioritize my time? What's the key stuff that I really need to be able to do? And then there's a little final thing, just which I could throw in. And do you know the 2-minute rule on stuff? If it's going to take 2 minutes, just do it. If not, then put it onto a list. Speaking of lists, I've got this one here. Yes. But I hope that's okay, by the way. I hope you've enjoyed that. I hope that's useful for your friend. So Susan Martin says, I'm a list maker. Great with them on paper. Okay, hang on. I'm a list maker. Great with them on paper, can order my life well, but in my head, a different matter. Okay, got it. One item suddenly has 101 possibilities, alternatives, and connections. Those with that sort of a head will know what I mean. Definitely. So my question is how not to exhaust ourselves, as paper lists are not always appropriate. Okay, so I get this. I totally get this one, Susan. So often these days we are dragged in multiple directions, and it becomes overwhelming, and it becomes overwhelming quickly. And when you're in an overwhelmed state, your brilliant brain spirals into what could be described as a list-induced exhaustion. Spit that up. That's a new thing. List-induced exhaustion. Lies. Lies. I am literally making this up as I go along, by the way. I'm quite pleased with this one. List-induced exhaustion. Lies. Here's the thing. Do you have to do everything on those lists, or are you telling yourself some lies? So here's what you can do. This is a bit that I have prepared. List-induced exhaustion. I will have to. There's a newsletter. You saw it here when I created the technique of list-induced exhaustion, what it means, and the fact it's just lies. Stop being so proud of yourself, Michael, and get on with the advice. Right, here we go. So number one, limit your focus. Don't try and be all things for all people. Exploring all possibilities isn't possible. So just narrow down. I've had this conversation recently with a mentor of mine. So I have a great mentor who helps me to get focused on stuff. And he said, Michael, at the moment, I feel like you're trying to be all things to all people, and it's never going to work. I said, what do you mean? He goes, well, you're a speaker and you speak on 3 different subjects. You're a coach on 2 or 3 different things. You're an author. You write on different things. You run groups. You do this. You go, so you're doing too much, too wide. Focus down. And he's given me a challenge that by the end of the month, I'm going to focus on the 3 things, only 3 things that I'm going to be working on, which is quite exciting and a little bit terrifying. So limit your focus. Next thing is, it's a lovely technique called capture the noise. And this is where, so I do this when I've got so much going on in my head. I'll say, okay, I'm going to do a 2-minute countdown. So I ask Siri to do a 2-minute countdown, and it didn't start there. Phew. And I just write down all the noise, all the stuff that's going on, to kind of get it out of there and onto paper. Now, I know you're talking about the fact you've got loads of lists and it's already the stuff that's spiraling. But when you capture the noise and stick it all onto paper, you already feel great. It's really good. Next thing, a bit of chunking. Get some big stuff, make it into smaller stuff. That's always useful. Time blocking. I was going to say 17-minute sprints. Sometimes you need to do 2 or 3 17-minute sprints. So an hour is taken up beautifully with 3 17-minute sprints. Just do the 3 times with a little break in between. There's a nice hour worked out. But I'm currently coaching a couple of people on writing, publishing, and selling their books. And they've both said the same thing, that 17-minute sprints is the big game changer, because you're getting stuff done, you're moving forward, and you're also getting rests for your eyes and for your emotions and stuff like that. And then the final bit is, I would forgive yourself. Don't beat yourself up for not getting everything done or for feeling this way. It's almost like we have to be perfect, isn't it? oh, you must be able to do this, you must be able to do that. And even the people who appear to be most organized, who appear to be brilliant at this stuff, let me tell you, they are all over the shop as well. There's loads going on. And I think sometimes just being able to forgive yourself is a real key. Right. Joanne Nuttall says, what's the best way to build and maintain motivation? So I wrote a list for this. Of course I did. I wrote a list. And I wrote, how many things have I got here? 8. And then I reread the question. It said, what's the best way? All right. So the best way, I think, is celebrating small wins. And we don't celebrate small wins nearly enough. We don't get to the end of the day and say, well done, I've had a great day because I've just done what I was meant to do today. It's always about huge achievement and overachievement. I was talking to Sam, my brilliant massage therapist, on Friday, and we were talking about how so often people are expected to achieve so much. And by expecting people to achieve so much, we end up in a position where, I don't know about you, but you feel a little bit useless because you haven't done this or you haven't done that. Remember, people are only sharing the really good stuff. Social media and things like that, they're only sharing the great things that they've done. They never sat there going, God, it's a bit of a challenge, it's a bit of a nightmare right now. I'm having some difficulties right now. They don't share that. Hopefully you've got some friends who you can share that with, but generally people aren't doing that. So I would celebrate small wins, or as I call them, SWINs. In Team 17, on the 17th of each month, we get together, we do a big Zoom call. We have people from all over the world. And the first 10 minutes is just celebrating SWINs, small wins. And some of them are just so beautiful and so simple. Managed to get the car MOT'd, serviced, and taxed in a day off my list. Great. It's a SWIN. Organized this. It's a SWIN. It's brilliant. Picked up, the kids on time, made sure they had tea every night, got the wash and drying and ironing done. SWIN. These are the things which are, people go, what's that, just life? Of course it's just life. And sometimes we need to celebrate the small things that we do in life. And if you get used to celebrating the small things, it's easier to celebrate the big things. Right, where are we? I think, did I have one more? Yes, I did. It's the fun question. Okay. Fun question from Jan Murphy. Here we go. If you could have one superpower, what would it be? Or do you have it already? So it is a bit of a temptation to say that my superpower is the ability to motivate people and to encourage them to unlock their brilliance. I wrote that down. I wish I had now. As I read it, it sounds so bloody cheesy, doesn't it? I didn't mean it to come out like that. Plus, I'm saying it isn't my superpower. But look, if we're looking at real superpowers, the one for me, teleportation. It has to be teleportation. I spend so much time traveling. Can you imagine just being able to go, or rent a ghost and just disappear and appear somewhere else? Wouldn't that be absolutely incredible? I'm just going to Spain for lunch, and then I'm going to be back this afternoon and do something else. I'm going to have to do an event. I'll see you there at 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock, I'm sat here. Boom, I'm suddenly in London or Birmingham. Oh, and then finish the event. Right, I'm on my way home. Oh, I forgot something. Can I go back and get it? Oh, wouldn't that be amazing? Teleportation is the ultimate superpower. There is nothing as good. Right, let's have a little look, see who's here. Oh, Dean Coulson's here. I'm having lunch with Dean this week. Very much looking forward to that. I think that's on Thursday. I know he's pestering me for where we're going to meet. I'm just trying to work out where it's going to be. Noel's here. Hi, Noel. I'm unable to put them up on the screen how I used to. I'm sorry about that. I think it's only if you come in via... hang on. Angie, I can. Oh, I know why. Because she's watching on my page. That's why. Hello from the A1, coming home from Yorkshire. Oh, that's nice. Noel's here. Claire is here. Hello. Good morning, Michael. Good morning to you, Claire. Karen Neary's here. Good afternoon, all. Chris McConnell's here. Hi, all. Keep improving. Yes, thank you. Agree with teleportation, says Karen. That would be great. It would, wouldn't it? Teleportation. It's where to go. It is definitely it's the future. It's not the future. It doesn't exist. I don't think it can ever exist. There's probably some really good reason why we are unable to teleport, and especially teleport with your clothes on. It's that thing in what was it, Terminator, when you can only go back in time when you're naked, when you go through the portal. I bet something like that would be the case. So you imagine you'd be able to do teleportation, but you'd have to do it naked. Suddenly, is teleportation the superpower that you want? Naked people just popping up all over the place. Oh, that would be good. Right, now, look, I hope everything's worked. Did you spot the little error that I made in the middle of this one? I hope not. There's always little things going wrong. Next week, I'm going to be back with more Ask Questions. Remember, if you want to ask a question and ask it, and leave it in the comments here, or you could email hello@michaelheppel.com, and I will do my very best to answer your questions and make it on any subject that you like. I know we kind of tend to stick with the personal development stuff, but there's anything else you want to know, why not? I used to do a thing on like bank holidays and on the last Monday of the month, where for Magic Monday, I would answer any question, or I would talk about any subject for 60 seconds. So we could do that type of thing. So any subject or any question that you want to ask, let's have a little go, and I will see if I can fit them in over the next few weeks. That'll be fun. All right, I think that's it, folks. Thank you very much. Have a brilliant, brilliant week. Let's play some out music, and I will see you all again very, very soon, as in next Monday. Unless you're a Team 17 member, I will see you tomorrow night. And the subject tomorrow night is how to have fun. Yay!